I propose a toast.
Welcome to your favorite podcast that talks about your favorite game on Smite.
I need a drink.
God, I love that bit.
Welcome to On Smite number 405, recorded on October 8th, 2015. I don't even know if that's the right date or not, but I'm Brent Copeland.
I am Rankarin.
I'm Bitburner.
And we have an awesome guest tonight. You might know him from the top 5 plays on the Xbox week. We have Frost.
You should at least know his voice.
Maybe it's one of those generic ones.
So tell us for the people who don't know who you are and what you do.
Well, as you said, I am Frost from the Xbox Top 5 Plays, and I'm just the voice. So why aren't my plays here? What happened? I'm just the voice. I don't pick them.
Do you get that a
So
lot?
Inuki still does all that?
And Nikki does all the editing. It all looks like we have a team that picks the plays, but I'm primarily just the voice.
Awesome.
We can see why.
And tonight, you may have noticed if you're watching live, my camera's dead. We're still trying to get everything in the studio reverted back from the final Shaft podcast that aired over the weekend in my garage, and it was kind of rowdy. So I think I killed part of my computer. We'll get that fixed out though. And
A few brain cells too that night.
yeah, maybe a few. But I guess I should go ahead and move on into this before I start talking about that, right?
Hey guys, what's
Kraken!
Like I was mentioning, Kraken for me was getting ready for the 5-year finale show for the Shaft, which was the Minecraft podcast we used to do, no longer going to be done ever again. And then trying to get everything thrown back up into the room in time for the show tonight. I haven't really had that much time to play much Smite this week. I haven't played the new God yet, so I'm sad. Maybe after the show, I'll get in a match or two with you guys. What about you, Bitburner?
Yeah, I got to play Soul. She's hot.
Wow.
Is that all you can say?
Wow.
But Tish.
See what I did there?
I get it.
No, she's great. I like her. Sometimes the new gods, I'm like, but this one, you can tell everybody else likes her too because everybody insta locks her. I was surprised I was able to get to play her. But I did a lot of practice with her for sure beforehand. I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. It's not she's not going to be an easy god to play. You have to have a little bit of a skill to play her because she's got some, she's got some big AoE stuff, but you got to kind of plan it out. So there's a little bit more skill involved playing her.
How about you, Ragin?
Well, I've had a pretty busy week. For one thing, I decided to try out the Steam launcher, and I mean everything runs really smoothly on it. The only issue I have with it is I'm not one of these people that uses Steam a lot, so I have to wait for Steam to open before I can open Smite. So I might revert back. We'll see. And the achievements don't carry over. I've got all the achievements in game, and they're also listed in Steam. But because I already have them in game, they're not showing up on Steam. Going back to last week's show, I was with my son this weekend, and I showed him the cuckoo skin, as we were discussing last week, and he immediately identified it. Immediately. Yeah. So I'm not going to say the name, but yeah, he immediately said it. I looked up the name, and yeah, I totally see it. So very well done as a parody. I've played a little bit of Saul just in co-op, and I don't think I'm going to like her. She definitely feels to me like she's half hunter, half mage, and I don't like hunters, so I don't really get the point of her, and getting used to her wave clear is going to be very, very unusual, so I'll play her to get the mastery, but I've yet to play her in an actual real match. I don't usually, even if I like the god, I don't try and get in on the first week of insta-locking, so I just let that go, especially if I'm playing with friends, which I did quite a bit of. One thing that surprised me is I tried out my Ares in the arena without blink. It actually isn't as bad as I thought it would be with the nerfed blink. It's not really impacting it as much. You should try it with your Emir, Brent, and see if you like it or if you don't. I still find I can get in and use my ult effectively even without the blink. So I still buy it, but I don't need it. And so I guess it was a bit of a crutch all this time.
I thought it was just Escape that got nerfed, though.
No, the whole everything got nerfed. All the cooldowns,
the timing, the cooldowns, and everything. Yeah, I forgot.
And actually, the one that screws me up more is that in addition to the cooldown, it's now even at top tier, it's 5 seconds delay every time you take or deal damage. So that's a long time in arena before you can blink.
That blink didn't really have much of a place in this map, in this meta. If you go back to some of the really old ones, they had small, tight lanes where if you got into trouble there, you kind of caught out. You didn't have much mobility, much escape. And so now all these guys with mobilities, all these guys with escapes, blink it wasn't really needed.
Yeah.
I'm liking these nerfs.
Yeah, it seems like it was getting abused. There was so much talk about everybody saying it's all about blink meta now, But
well, you did see, 4 people on each pro team would end up with blink. So obviously there was something a little overpowered with it.
Blink.
And I mean, I guess that's pretty much it for my week. Just the usual stuff. Aside from that, had the match with the crazy BMer who, feeds and then gets mad at everybody else and then DCs, and then we win after he leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had one of those. I
have a good BMer story.
That was our stranger danger.
That's kind of what I find with all the BMers is it's like, your negativity is actually doing more damage to the team than anyone's play, whether they're sucking or not. It's you bring down every single person, including yourself, with BM. So it's not helpful ever.
There was this guy he wasn't BM too bad. He was just all, instead of helping, he was just standing back, and I was doing something and I got jumped and he was just all, he's like dumbass or something. I'm all, what? Why am I a dumbass? You could have helped me, And so he was talking crap, and then like the next, and I didn't say anything else to him, through the round. But the next round, he was actually on the other team, and he went like 0-9, and I was all, karma's a bitch. And he actually instant messaged me and was like, dude, I'm sorry. You're not a dumbass. I was sorry for saying that.
Well, at least he
I was like, that's cool. But
I did get in a few matches on Friday with the extra worshipers and stuff. I was hoping to kind of clear out everything over the weekend, but because of what was going on, I get to play. But there was one game when I was playing with Eric, and someone was cross-talking to him, like, sending him messages while they were playing, and then we beat them. And, he was like, oh, I guess I spoke too soon or whatever. But why do they even let you do that? Like I don't know why I hate it so much when I'm playing against someone, laning against someone, and then they start sending me messages. Like, not even if they do well or whatever, but just
you should not be able to message people in your game on the other team.
It should be an option.
Filter out, yeah.
It should be an option. You should be able to set
whether you could receive them or not.
Yeah. I also think they need to add an option
not to receive messages.
Yeah, and I would also like to see an option, since we're kind of on the topic, of not seeing opponent taunts and laughs.
That would be nice, please.
That would be very nice, especially, I mean, I kind of get it in-game, psych people out, whatever. I don't use the taunts, but I do the tank jump around, come catch me thing. So there is some to it. But when your Titan's dead and the defeat screen is up, the last thing you need to hear is that getting spam taunted with someone having the macro on their keyboard.
I think the trick is not to lose.
I love that shit.
Fair enough, but
I'm a VEL. I don't even have a script. I'm just VEL.
No, I don't think it's in good. I don't think it's in good sport or good taste. That's just me.
I'm a
VEL,
VT, VEL.
I would like a cap on it at least. Like, let the first bit play through until you can do it again.
Yeah.
When they overlap, that's
Yeah, it's a little nasty, I know. Anuki was having a bit of a heart attack when that was happening because he's a bit of a sound freak. And it's like, no, don't let them overlap. That's
right.
it's not fun.
Right.
And the messaging thing, for good and for bad, when I started doing videos and whatever, every now and then you get a person saying, "Oh, are you Frost? I love your videos." And like mid game, where then I feel guilty for having to kill the person. I'm like, this is not the time. I feel bad.
But you brought it on yourself for playing me, so there you go. How about you, Frost? How was your week?
My week has been pretty good. Patch days, I'm not a big fan. Let's be honest, because people that haven't played in a while come out because of the new god, and then I don't know, it's been a bit hectic. So I went back into ranked where there is no new god, and it's been my safe haven for now.
Nice. So you're gonna be play that a little bit, maybe a week or so, and then go try soul yourself.
I've tried her out. Her kit, I'm a bit torn about it. It's new, it's fresh, but it's really bloated. It has a lot of stuff. It's got crowd control, it has cleansing, it has high damage, mobility, attack speed, all this stuff, and worries me for the future gods because I wouldn't say we're power creeping just yet, but this is more stuff that other gods are going to have to deal with. This is more stuff that's like, oh, what are we going to put in the next god to compete with the ones we have? And soul is a new benchmark, I feel.
I can see that. It seems like most of the gods we get, there's got to be some fine tuning, at least the first few weeks, and then still years later.
Yeah, but like when Robin came out, he was kind of weak. I thought he's a good baseline for where gods should be, but we've had all these strong gods that everyone's just like, oh, he sucks, he can't keep up.
Yeah.
Well, what do y'all think? Do y'all prefer to have a god come out a little more overpowered when it comes out, and then them tune it down, or underpowered and then tune it up?
I would say err on underpower.
That's
I think
hard.
it's. I think it's
they
easier to
do
tweak them
that. I
up.
think they do overpower a lot of them and then nerf them.
Yeah, because then they'll see play and you'll know where all the trouble spots are, but they don't really nerf them properly, I think, all the time. So
Yeah.
I think I'll have to go with underpowered and then make them slightly stronger.
Yeah, because look at Bologna, right? I mean, Bologna's been nerfed a couple times. It's still not enough, in my opinion. She's certainly a top pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but Bologna has a skill level of play that is pretty high.
Well, that's
You know,
true.
you
I
can't just go be a noob and play Bologna. I mean, she's very complicated. You have to land shit like precise to that
Yeah.
little stretch in front of her on her two or whatever, and she jumps up and brings down the hammer, and you have to line up that little two. You got to line it up. That's crazy.
And it seems like there's that can cause issues with the balancing. Like the more gods the more confusing they are to play. Where you get these players that know how to play a god, they're so much more powerful with that god than just the general public. That it's hard to balance because who do they balance it for? The people that are playing it every day, or the people
Right.
in, that are qualifying for crap? And you got to do it for the qualifying stuff, right?
They're balancing around conquest. Going into ranked, I see, yeah, these gods they do pretty well, but at the same time, if you're a casual player, you're gonna be seeing some stuff.
Right.
And it'd be nice if they could do something for that as well. Probably not possible right now, but that'd be really nice.
Well, just even like not being familiar with a god and having them against you, you're not gonna know what they're capable of and everything, So you really have to kind of stay up on those, even though you might not like the gods, and they're hard to play or whatever. It's so pays off to at least go into some practice and just see what they're capable of, so that when
the
you come
best
up against
thing-
it, know what's going on.
The best thing that I think that comes out of mastering all the gods, getting that level 1, getting that level 70 badge, which I don't have yet now because I haven't done Saul, but is getting you learn so fast how to shut every god down, because when you're trying to play them for the first time and you just get shut down, it's a wicked learning experience. So
You kind of start learning who you can actually go up against and win against. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think with 70 gods, you lose a lot of that info pretty fast, and the stuff that you know is what you do playing against these gods over and over again.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
true,
what
too.
it takes to master a god is almost too much, but too little to really get a good understanding. You're right. You do get some, and I do think you should play every god. I just don't know if you should play it as much as they want you to get a mastery, and they halved it, so that tells you how much
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. I still say one game to get your mastery, not mastery, call it something else, but the first one, and then higher for the rest. But
See, I disagreed. I think it should have been like 10 matches. But you were saying that would put you into mastery now, especially if you had boost.
yeah, 10 wins would get you at least 80 worshippers, if not 90 or 100 or more.
It depends on the mode, but yeah, I mean, 10 arena wins.
I mean, you
Arena
get,
wins
like,
usually
4
give you
just
7
for
or 8.
winning, right? And then
Mhm.
But
the
then
other
there's
for
always
time.
boosters and
Yeah, so
and
you would be
bonus
mastering
weekend.
too.
The weekend events and the extra stuff that you get. It's 9 to 10 wins, and that's a mastery.
Yeah, so make it 5. Then make it 5 wins.
I'm going with 1.
5.
Okay.
You
So
just gotta win one.
or lose, either one. You just got to play one match.
Like you
with them.
can sit back and your whole team goes. Like you DC'd half the game, you come back and you win.
I think
and
you
got a
selected.
mastery.
You selected, and then you changed to a different god. You get the mastery. You're good. You're golden. You don't have to play it again.
I don't
Anyway,
know.
so also this week, you check tickets. The SWC about 650 left. It appears.
Yep.
So
So
if
my
you're-
100 a week is still holding.
So if you want to go, you got about a month and a half before you're out of luck. Also, if you didn't know, you can find the show on YouTube now on Smite Podcast. We finally got the name, so you can get it easily there. And we still have over 50 skins and gods that we're giving away.
Thank you, Gabe.
Huh?
Thank you, Gabe.
Yes, and we'll be giving out about 5 to 6 skins weekly, so look for that on the website on smitepodcast.com. You might have noticed a text that went up earlier in the show. You go there, oops, that's the wrong thing to move, and you'll see you can get a skin there. Only 50 of you, though, so the first 50 there, get it. Okay, so... yeah, I think it's time for this.
Patch of the Pantheons.
Woohoo!
So we did have a patch, new god. Talked a little bit about it. Got any words? Anybody got words for the patch?
I think we probably talked about Saul enough.
Was this Rachel? Was this the one you were talking about like a week or two ago that you were kind of upset that she wasn't going to have clothes on?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it quite a bit last week.
So what do you
Shadow.
think now that you see she's just fire? Is it still an issue? You think?
I still think it's over sexualized. The one
So she should
thing-
have clothes on, like burning
Well,
up. I don't know. That
I-
I
it's
was
not so-
thinking about this a lot when I'm playing. I'm like, because
It's
you
not so
had
much
some-
the fact that she doesn't have clothes on. It's that her body type is the exact same as all of the other gods or goddesses that are over sexualized, right?
So-
Maybe it makes a little more sense that she's naked than
So
it makes
she-
that Athena wears high heels.
So she should be like Bacchus.
No,
Is
she
that what
shouldn't
she-
be like Bacchus. And I will say, now that I've seen her in game, she's at least, she's Aphrodite with an extra 10 or 15 pounds at least, so she's not identical. But I don't know. It just seems like they could have done something a lot more.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it'd be nice to see a little more creativity. We've got, the men as well. They're just big hulking gods, is what they are. But you got Giannis as a robot. You got Bacchus is just big old jolly going around dumping drink on everyone. I think we could get a little more creative with the women as well.
Yeah.
Well, and
Absolutely.
we did talk about this last week. I've been playing Vox all week because I've been trying to get the mastery, and Vox is a girl, right? Do you think? I mean, like, is she over sexualized?
You mean Nox?
Nox, sorry, did I say Vox? That's a
I don't know
dragon
how
from
she stands
EverQuest.
upright with the way that they've designed her, but she's. I don't understand why the goddess of night has to show that much cleavage.
What about
I mean, I guess
I'm
I don't
saying,
know.
like, Medusa. Let's see.
I think
Yeah,
there's I don't
Yeah,
know.
but we don't have any like witches. Like any like. Like I don't know. I think you have a point, but at the same time, it's so
I
like
think,
they could have some like demonic looking lady one, but there isn't one. They all look
Uh-huh.
great. Even the demonic ones look great.
Yeah. Well, and okay, yes, they're divine beings. Maybe they should look good, but I think that the common argument that's out there is that looking good doesn't have to be identical for every single one of them. You know, and the sexy additional pieces, I guess, for lack of a better word, shouldn't be on gods that don't need them. Like I said, why would Athena wear high heels? She's a goddess of wisdom and war, and she's wearing high heels into battle. That makes no sense whatsoever. But, high heels on a girl, she's got to wear them. Just seems stupid to me. But, I mean, it's a dead horse that we beat.
Because girls
multiple
never
times.
wear high heels. Never.
well, and I don't know. I guess
Does
my
Ronda
point is,
Rousey
I
wear
think
high heels in the octagon?
we hear.
She could.
I think we see some of the changes that come from certain gods, and then we forget like Arachne. Arachne is she over sexual? You know what I mean? Like I think.
Oh, that's a point. Well, yeah, she got some.
Yeah, she is. I mean,
She's
look
got
at her
some-
top.
She's a woman.
I'm
She's
not.
got
I'm just trying to
boobs.
kill
I
everyone
mean,
else. I'm not looking at tops.
I don't know. I think we should get all the female gods side by side
That's a good
and
one.
then look at it
Yeah.
for a good long time.
Well, there was a video, and I forget, maybe we could put this in the show notes if we find it, where a guy actually made this really good point about some of the gods being over sexualized. But if you actually look back through history and you actually go to, they have actually covered them up more than they were in history. And they're actually, and his point was, they're actually kind of changing what the meaning of the god by, like what was it? What's the one that they actually
theory.
full on changed? They full on changed the god over the whole thing. What was it?
Kali.
Ali, yeah. And that was what prompted the video, and it was saying it was doing a disservice actually to the history of Kali because now everything that has to do with her abilities and everything changed to have nothing to do with really what her lore is. So before it actually had more to do with her lore, and if you actually look at pictures of Kali, she's actually pretty much fully naked. So we're talking about that's their representation in history. Do we change their representation in history because of our political correctness?
No, but that's kind of like ours. Back then, it was just there were the curves, the fertility, all that representation. This is practically our modern depiction of them. If Hi-Rez had been the ones coming up with the lore back then and so long ago, this is what they would look like.
Good point.
It's just our modern depictions of them. But again, I think we could stand to be a bit more creative.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at any kind of if you do a Google search for images of her, she's pretty much topless and everything.
Yeah.
So,
well, yeah, and you can find images about like Ray just saying, will we ever get a new model type or something like that? And I don't know how much of that deals with models in-game models and the artist who are making them having a certain feel and all that sort of stuff. It'd be nice we should get one of the artists on and talk to them about it. It's a good idea, Brett. Thank you.
Yeah,
we'll do it.
Great. Actually, I know that a lot of these games will use a program called Poser, which actually has preformed models that you can change a little bit to become your models in
but
pretty much any
it's probably
game.
just big boobs and bigger boobs.
Yeah,
it's probably the only settings they
basically.
have on there.
That's pretty much the models they have in there are pretty much very good looking models.
Big package or bit burner package.
Think about that. Half your work is done. You're just coming up with a costume to go over that model.
Or less
So
of a
why would you
costume.
build a whole model in rigging when you can use Poser and create one with, change all the face and the body shape, just like you would in a game, to create your character in a game. But they do that with, I don't know if you've ever used Poser. I mean, it's that easy to actually change, the way things look and then export that model into your into whatever game engine you want.
Right. Okay,
Nude.
so
Nude.
patch stuff. What else? What else we got to talk about in here?
The other thing was just they added a lot of miscellaneous buffs for some of the gods that they were saying were lower tier. So I mean, there's a lot of them.
Do you think that's the power creep where they're having to,
I don't think
up
that's
the older gods a little bit?
Yeah, I don't think that's the power creep, but I think they're setting the precedence for the future that will enable the power creep.
Oh snap! So Wheelix can pull her ult through walls now.
Yep.
That's huge.
Yeah. People were getting away too easily, essentially.
They zing cooldown increased to 100 seconds.
Yeah. Well, they're still nerfing him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about that, right?
The one that I find the weirdest though is the Sobek one. Now, granted, I'm not a really good Sobek player by any means. He's pretty low on my list of tanks. He's fun as hell to play, but I'm not all that good with him. I don't think mana was his problem.
If you build him as tank,
Yeah.
it is.
I don't know.
It
I've
very
never
much
really had
was a
mana
problem with him.
Yeah, you
For-
blow the
for
mana
sure.
so fast, you can't heal off his stuff or do anything else because you just sit around waiting for mana.
Yeah, and you have to be up in everybody's face all the time, and so you're not always, regaining mana very quickly because you're constantly using your abilities to just keep people off you because you're moving kind of slow.
Well, I don't know. That's my opinion anyway. I've never had a
The ult
mana
protection
problem.
buff,
Maybe
though,
that means
I
I'm playing him wrong.
think
But
they need a big time. I remember ulting with him back in the day, and you're like, yeah, I'm like invincible almost, right? You're whack, come up, and it doesn't do that much damage, but it's intimidating. But now that you have some protection again, I think that his ult may be like, I don't care when he ults me, Sobek ults me, I'll stand there. You don't even have to run around, dude. You don't even have to run around. I'll stand here and wait for you to come up because I know you're gonna do jack to me.
yeah, it's kind of like the Hades ult where you
I
just
sit
better
there
off to turn around and shoot him in the
shoot him.
face.
I just shoot him. I don't even try to move. I just shoot him. And when he comes up, I'll just shoot him more because it's not gonna, and he's not shooting at you when he's in his ult, so he's totally vulnerable. Totally vulnerable. He's not really doing as much damage to make you fear it, to make you move away from it. So that right there, if he can protect himself in his ult, makes it a little bit more scary, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? Halloween updates, event maps.
Oh, I
like
thought
it.
the Halloween stuff was cool. I wasn't
Yeah.
really expecting it because I didn't read the notes beforehand. And I saw the pumpkins are the thing that they're in arena that they're throwing in the little guys that come out. And I was like, whoa, that's cool. That's like,
And I
they
was a
haven't
little
done
worried.
this before. They've never done a real like official like change things up that way
I want to keep it.
for a holiday. They've
Yeah, I
had
like the
skins,
nighttime arena. I was upset when they flipped it back to daytime. I just think it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing, the nighttime one. I was worried when I read about the tombstones. I thought maybe they were going to be like Medusa statues where they were actually going to be physical barriers, but they're not. You can just blow right through them.
Right.
And they don't last very long.
That's
either.
what
They
those.
disappear real
Okay,
quick.
I wonder what those were.
Yeah, and then the drink me potions where if someone dies, you get a Ratatoska or an Opwash jumping in your face. Have you tried those?
No.
What? A what?
You go into an arena match, and in the consumables, you've got your health, your mana potions. There's one that says "Drink me." And this
Oh.
I
this
did
one
not
has
see
little. Yeah, this one has little jump scares coming for you.
Okay, I have got to try that. I didn't try that. Oh yeah, that's gonna be awesome. It reminds me of Team Fortress 2. It's like Team Fortress 2 does this awesome freaking Halloween event type of thing every year. It's awesome. It makes me come back and play Team Fortress 2 every year, and just to experience that part. So I think anytime you add stuff like that for the holidays, I think that's just cool. Like if it's like Christmas, make it the map all snowy, anything like that. It's just makes it more fun and different. I love that shit.
I also like what they did with the Halloween chest this year. Right now, it has the new Loki skin, the Mariachi. You know how people are with chests. It's like, there's some things I don't want, some things I do. I don't really want to just throw gems in there. Well, I got all the stuff from the Halloween chest last year, that this year the only thing I could get from it was the Loki
Yep.
skin. So
Oh, nice.
I thought that was pretty convenient.
I'm
Yeah,
actually
that's
like
cool.
that
So,
with
like, if
most
you're
of the
up on
skins, the chests now. Pretty much anytime a new chest comes out, the only thing I need is the new thing in it, because I did the full Odyssey last year.
Yeah.
Which, if you did that, you're overflowing with stuff. You get so much of that extra stuff taken care of with that, and I'm actually probably going to finally get my Artemis Convention skin this time around because of the Odyssey chest. It's in there, and I've got so much of the other stuff in it. I should be able to get it this time around.
This time around. Okay, so I was trying to get some questions together for the next segment, so let's just go ahead and dip on into that.
I have a message for you. Gotta go fast. Whoosh! Yeah!
We got mail. Let's take a look at Mercury's message.
Let's go.
Yeah! So this is our mail sack. We're opening it. Mercury brought it to us, of course, and we're going to get some questions off the Reddit to get to Frost. So every week we do that for the guests, so be sure to look for that a day or two before the show. Also, if we have any questions, we'll throw them at you as well. The first one here, though, is from a Huerta or WE3s, blah, blah, blah. And it says, is the selection pool of top 5 Xbox plays of a similar size to the pool of top 5 PC plays, or are there less submissions?
Well, if it's talking overall, just by the way that the patches work on PC, you've got all the plays in between patches. Once you get a new patch, all those old plays get wiped. So by default, Xbox is going to have more just because ours don't get wiped. It's used with an Xbox DVR. But I'd say Xbox gives more just because it's done through a third program, whilst on PC, you have to be in a ranked match. It has to be spectated. You have to be in that ranked match, and you have to be in the top 15% of ELO, I believe. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
So is that how that works? I've always wondered that why a random match that I was in would show up as having a replay, and I knew that spectating caused it, but I didn't think enough people were spectating random matches to have them. It also seems, and I don't know if you can answer this or not, but it seems like matches where people get reported tend to show that as well. But I don't know if that's just coincidence.
I've never tested that before.
It just seems like if I see one and there's, like, say, for instance, one really toxic player and everyone else says they're going to report them, then it seems like that's a match that's more likely to have that spectate come up or that replay option.
I wonder if
I'm a
there's,
little
like, threshold.
bit obsessed, I guess, with going and checking all the matches that I've done in the week. I check both the main Smite and the Smite Guru. Taking a look at what happened there. So I do tend to notice when ones get a replay option, and like you said, top 15% of ELO, which means that I don't show up. But I do see them occasionally. Now, is there a so there's no spectator replay at all on Xbox?
From what I've seen, Scott Gandhi's been working on one. They are developing a spectator for it, and I think they've hosted tournaments before as well. So I'm pretty sure there's a spectator there. I've recently gotten more into it, and I haven't really gotten to dabble with the spectator yet.
Yeah, I know they have some kind of in-game camera. It may be just for them at this time, because I know during the tournament, they would sit there and show footage in the other room, and they'd be following people and show plays and things like that live. So they obviously had some in-game. And it's so much smoother than PC, because it can be on rails when they're doing the motion tracking and stuff. So it looked really good. Nice and polished. Okay, so also what looks good is my rear. That's not... that's person on Reddit, and they have a question, and it sounds a lot like the one we just asked, but we're going to ask anyway. How many Smite video submissions do you get? How many of them are actual plays? And how many are someone's first pentakill?
All right. Well, submissions, how many do we get? Last time I checked it, we've gone around 11,000 submissions total. I think Anuki says we get around 500 per video in between. How many of them are actual plays? I've gone through them myself a few times. I've only actually picked like 2. And how many of them are someone's first pentakill? A lot. How many of them are someone's first double kill? A lot. How many of them are just like my opponent missed everything and I got away? A lot. Yeah.
So personally, what's your what do you like to see in a good play?
A lot of personally, I'd like to see a lot of back and forth action where one person's not completely outplaying the other while the other person's taking it. Because we've got names for these things. Like we get plays where one person does get a pentakill, but by nature of it, the other team did something completely wrong. So just I think my dream is also what Nuki said, where he wants a full 5-on-5 team fight. Where slowly they're picking each other off, they're fighting together, but they're dying where it's a 5v5, and then it turns to a 5v4, then a 4v4, and it gets down to the last 1v1, and then someone is victorious, or heck, everyone's dead.
Everybody's back up, and it starts all over again.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how much of that, though, because, I mean, and maybe this is, I'm not trying to sound all PC master race on this, but, I watch both series, and it seems like what you just described is what the PC top 5 plays usually are. A lot of the time on the Xbox stuff, it seems it's more, not so much everyone's done really well, but I mean, the example I can pull out of the last one is where the Cuckoo is escaping into the jungle, drops a tornado to block the lane. The other guys run right through the tornado, and he turns around and ults them. And it's just, okay, yeah, it was smart on Cuckoo's part to do that, but that was capitalizing on the other people making a really stupid mistake. And I see more of that on the Xbox side. Now, is that just because of the differences in the source material? Like, are you getting more of that kind of play with the Xbox side than you get out of the PC? And is what you talked about with League being the source of PC part of that?
Let's say if you were to go back into the old PC top 5 plays, you'd also be getting a lot of that. I think it's basically come from a lot of people are just new to the game. This is their first MOBA. This is the sort of stuff I was doing at that level that I was like, oh my God, I'm so awesome. And just like 2 weeks ago on PC, I'm getting my first Penta. And I'm like, man, I should send that into the top 5 plays. But then I go back and look at it and it's like, no, I just shot everyone in the back. And Anubis came running out of nowhere to fight a Gold Fury for some reason. That's kind of how it is on Xbox, just like I'm gonna run in the jungle, drop a tornado, drop a dragon on you while everyone's running behind. I think eventually people are gonna get better.
Yeah, I wonder if those are the people who've played it on PC before, playing it on Xbox.
No,
like smurfing.
I've gotten a few from Dwarst. He's the I want to say ADC for Eager.
Solo, I think.
Okay.
I think he replaced Anatoly, I think.
No, it's not on PC, on Xbox.
Dwarst?
Yeah, Dwarst.
Oh. No, I thought Dwarst was DWURST. Doesn't he play for Eager? Oh, but the Eager Xbox team. Sorry, I'm an idiot.
That's Omega on the Eager PC
Of course.
team. Anyways, Dwarst, he sends in some plays, and his are more of that back and forth kind of style going. Maybe that's just matchmaking. Maybe he's getting players who actually know what they're doing.
Well, yeah, because you'd be top tier.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to play it on the Xbox just to see what it's like. But I don't want to buy it.
It is so deja vu because my account is level 4 on Xbox, and it's all the stuff that I was seeing when I was on PC when I first started out. I'm like, it's like I get to start anew. This is still my first MOBA, but I have all this knowledge. I know what all the gods do. I know what we're supposed to do, and I'm going 22-0 in every match, but I'm not sending my own plays.
Now, you say this is your first MOBA. What kind of games do you usually play? Do you play RPG games or like MMOs, or do you play first-person shooters? What kind of background did you have before Smite?
I came from first-person shooters and fighting games. Mostly Street Fighter. Everyone else is like Smash Bros, but I was mostly Street Fighter.
Yeah, see, that's the background I come from. These guys, they're all like MMO guys and stuff. So, did you now? When I started playing, I didn't even know what AOE meant. I had no idea what mana did. I feared abilities.
Yeah.
So, did
You
you
should
have that kind
fear-
of experience when you were transitioning from first person shooter to this kind of mobile world?
I'd watched a fair amount of videos back when I was in shooters. I was playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. One of my favorite YouTubers at the time was MOC Stealth, who is now the
Right.
mid laner for
Right.
Cloud9. And I'm like, this is really interesting. I wanna see what this game's about. I get the game. I know what some of the gods do, and you're just learning. This was back in beta, where there was no really call roll and go places. It was just like grab a god you want to master quick and run.
Right.
Yeah, and you just learn. That's what I like about video games in general. Is that you can learn, you can get better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you could be like me and not just suck all the time. Speaking of sucking all the time, we got a question from Lincoln Bob, who's not here tonight again. But I'm just kidding, Lincoln. We love you. Lincoln asked, when do you think the skill level of the Xbox players will reach that of the PC players?
I don't know. I've been playing for 2 years now, and I'm pretty bad on PC. I think if not by next year, the year after. Definitely, because there's a lot more material. Back when we started, there was no one to look up to. There were no guides. There were no pros. There were no streamers. These were the first ones. Now we have pros to watch. We have people that can guide them a lot better. I think they'll catch up a lot faster.
That's a
Yeah.
great point to make.
Yeah, and I think there's also, you kind of touched on it before, there's kind of, they're two different silos. No matter how much you try to put the games together, I think you throw PC players in on the Xbox, and just a little bit, if not now, they're going to get owned by the Xbox players, and you throw the Xbox players in with the PC players, and they're going to get owned by the Xbox. Just almost like shooters, like Pitt was saying. I mean, that seems to kind of be the flow.
It's all about who knows their game better, really.
Yeah, and the inputs, right?
Because I went to Xbox. I'm a lot better just because I know how the game works, but I'm sure those are low levels. I'm sure dwarves could take me down easy.
Yeah.
There's always some savant that's just amazing. The first time they play, you're like, what the hell?
I know. I wish I was those. Some of us have to work to
Our
get
brother's that way. He just every game he plays, just masters it in 2 seconds.
And how different is the control scheme? Like, how different does it feel to be playing on that Xbox controller instead of keyboard and mouse?
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna grab my Xbox controller right here. And all right, we have normal casting on PC. It doesn't feel right on Xbox at all because you have to like double tap it, and it caught me off guard. So everything there now is on instant. The way you can't level your skills while attacking. That kind of hinders it a little bit.
Ooh.
Yeah, because you have to, the way I have it is you have to click the left analog and then press which skill you want. And it won't let you do that while attacking. So it kind of bugs me there. Movement, though, because it's an analog, feels a lot nicer. Like just instead of WASD, you've got the left analog. So it's a lot easier to juke, a lot better moving around, but aiming is atrocious for me. It's a lot harder to hit skills at a far range as opposed to all up in your face.
Right.
So because of that, you're seeing different kinds of gods.
And is there a bit of an auto aim help at all, or is it still you got to have that perfect line?
Says there was auto aim, but Scott Gandhi suggested everyone take it off, so I never tested it. And if it's anything like the aim assist on Call of Duty, I don't like it at all. It's better to just go raw.
Right.
Learn the controls. Well, that's cool. That's good insight. How about matchmaking on Xbox? How is it now? How long does it normally take to hop into a match?
It's pretty fast, not even like a minute. But then again, I was level 4 and I was playing with Mez, High-Res Weiss, High-Res Pixie Kitty, and I think they were all level 30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So cool. Sounds like they've got plenty of people playing to make those matches happen. Looks like you have a question, Ragin.
I was just going to ask, like, are there multiple servers like there are on the PC with the Xbox? I don't know how. I'm not familiar with Xbox at all in any game, so I don't know how that works.
I'd like to say there are multiple servers, but since it is Xbox, it could be hosted off of one person. So I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, that was always in the old days on Xbox. It'd be like one person that basically hosted whatever game. So if you're playing Minecraft, you'd actually be playing on someone's Xbox, and if they left, it would kind of all go to someone else's Xbox.
Yeah, and then you pay $50 a month for what?
I don't know. Oh, you're talking about the Xbox service.
Xbox Live? Like, what are you paying for if the other guy's hosting?
Yeah,
You're not paying for servers.
No. So I don't know if they do that anymore with the Xbox One, but that'd be interesting, something to find out, because then you run into some kind of, they pull the plug just enough to come in and kill you or something, while you're off lagging. I don't know. I doubt it works like that.
J-tagged Xboxes.
Are those still a thing? Wow.
Yeah.
So before we move on to the next segment, anybody else have any more real questions before we get to the silly ones? I guess that's a no, so let's move on to a new segment, kind of repurposing it.
Are you ready for 21,000 gigawatts?
Zeus's lightning round.
Good luck.
So we're just going to throw some quick, stupid questions at you. Just answer them as fast as you can. These are all for you, Frost. How is your voice so mesmerizing?
Orange juice and toothpaste every
There
day.
you go. Where's your announcer pack?
It's super top secret. So top secret, even I don't know where it is.
Nice.
Oh, no.
What is your opinion on the NA and EU teams? No, that's too long. We should have done that in the serious one. Favorite cereal?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Easy.
Oh, that is an easy one. Favorite television game show host?
Alex Trebek, come on, man.
Yes!
Jeopardy.
Yeah.
How many women have suddenly fainted, or guys, due to the smoothness of your voice?
I have no clue. They wouldn't be able to tell me they're all unconscious.
Hey, that's good. How come you don't spit more hot fire like the one Agni play?
That one was just kind of random. It was one of those plays where I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? This is kind of lackluster, so it just flowed out.
Well, then would buying you ice cream actually improve our chances of being friends?
Maybe, especially if you get my favorite flavor, which I'm not going to tell you.
Uh-oh. Hopefully it's not mac and cheese with hamburger mixed in or mac and cheese with hot dogs.
I'm a purist. I'll just take the mac and cheese.
And lastly, but not least, who's your favorite god? And why is it Bologna?
It's Bologna because she doesn't run around in high heels.
There we go.
Nice.
You're right. They did get that one right.
Very nice job. That's the first time we've actually pulled that on a guest, and you did amazingly well. Thank you.
Very well. Very well.
And we're actually bumping up on an hour here. So first off, I want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And I know everybody needs to go, follow you on Twitter. That's the other Frost on Twitter. Also, launching a podcast of your own Wednesday. Is that what I hear?
The 14th, I believe. So, yeah, Wednesday. Ragnarok Radio.
Ragnarok Radio. So everybody look for that.
It's going to be me, Smitten, Maz, and Shadowhorn.
Nice. And y'all are giving away some skins, too. I think they should go follow you on Twitter, and they can find that.
Yeah, they can find that.
Where else can everybody find you?
Me, I'll just stay on the Twitters.
Just on the Twitters.
I just stay on the Twitter.
Well, that's awesome. We're on the Twitters, too. I'm at Brent Copeland.
I'm at Bitburner.
I am at Rankarin.
And it's on the screen. And you can find us each week on Smite Podcast everywhere, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, my home address, websites, my Hotmail account, my AOL account.
Dude, I got a Hotmail story, okay? I got a Hotmail story.
These are always the best.
Before Microsoft owned Hotmail, this is like a long time ago, I had a Hotmail address, and people didn't even have like email. So then I tell them, hey, my address is bitburner at Hotmail. And they're like, Hot M-A-L-E? Are you a stripper?
We didn't know you swung that way, bit.
And I'm like, no, hot male, M-A-I-L, M-A-I-L. I can't tell you how many times people put H-O-T-M-A-L-E. I'm like, no.
And of
That's
course,
not it.
the alternative
That's not
at
it.
that time was rocket mail, which, when you put it in that context, isn't a whole lot better.
It's all sexualized. It's
it's
Smite
almost as
girls.
good as Yahoo Mail. I'm a Yahoo Mail.
Why,
Yahoo.
why am I using this mail?
Yahoo. So on Smite Podcast at yahoo.mail.com.org. Not really. I'm getting everybody all mixed up.
I'm at Alt Vista.
We are giving out skins every week, randomly, and this is besides from the show. So go to onsmitepodcast.com. We've got some up right now. You might be surprised who it is. You might not. Go get you one. There's only 5, so they go fast, and then there's 50 from that other link. Again, thank you so much for joining us today, Frost.
Thanks for having me.
Have a wonderful evening, and you guys too. Thanks for showing up today.
No problem.
I forgot how to speak all of a sudden. I don't know where I'm going with this because I don't have an outro button. I need an outro. Someone make us an outro. Bitburner, make us an outro.
All right, what do you want?
It's done. That's you, the creative. You get all license.
All right, cool.
So I will just do this for it. And see y'all later.
Nice job.